Welcome to The Explainer. Listen, today I want you to look at me not just as your host, but as a mentor, because we're going to get real, and I'm speaking directly to you. I know exactly what you're going through right now. You've got this massive ambition, right? You know deep down that you're meant for greatness, that you literally have a profound calling on your life. And yet, you are so incredibly frustrated because you feel completely stuck, like you're tripping over your own feet, trapped in these deeply average, undisciplined daily habits. It's this quiet, almost invisible crisis. But today, we are going to break down a fantastic framework by Dennis over at dennismotivates.com that explains exactly why this happens and, more importantly, how to actually fix it.
Okay, let's dive into this with a pretty incredible visual metaphor. I want you to imagine dropping a massive, million-dollar, 1,000-horsepower Ferrari engine right into a flimsy, rusted-out golf cart. Now, put yourself in the driver's seat and floor the gas pedal. What happens? Well, you definitely don't win a race. The sheer torque of that massive engine violently shakes the poor little cart to pieces. The power, literally, destroys the vessel. And you know what? This is exactly how premature success operates. Your calling, your big ambition, that's the Ferrari engine. But your character, your current habits, how you regulate your emotions, your daily discipline, that is the golf cart chassis. If you get that ultimate success you've been craving right now, today, the sheer torque of it will completely tear your unprepared life apart.
And that brings us to what Dennis calls the gap. This is that painful friction you feel every single day. It's the heavy weight of this huge purpose clashing directly with your own inconsistent patterns. It's exhausting, honestly, and it creates massive imposter syndrome because your public ambition simply doesn't match who you are in private. But I want to reframe this agonizing gap for you right now. When you're sitting in this friction, the default human reaction is self-condemnation. You think you're failing. But this framework insists you are not a fraud. This uncomfortable gap, it's not a crime scene of failure. It is an active, absolutely necessary construction zone for your development. You're simply in formation.
But before we go further, we really need to heed a serious warning. Let's look at the danger of bypassing the construction zone.
Think about it. Bypassing that waiting room and getting full access to your calling without the character to actually support it, it will absolutely crush you. We see these cultural casualties everywhere. Look at child stars who get massive fame way before their brains have even developed basic emotional regulation. It almost never ends well. Or what about lottery winners? People who get $100 million dropped in their lap without an ounce of financial literacy. The blessing literally becomes a curse. Or think of toxic CEOs who build billion-dollar companies only to have the whole thing implode in massive scandal. Why does this happen? Because bypassing the foundational work is a huge liability. Your flaws don't just magically disappear when you get the corner office. They are just amplified by a massive megaphone.
And this leads us to a crucial stewardship principle from Dennis's framework. It's stated so simply: character sustains what calling attracts. That word right there, sustains, is everything. Listen to me. Your raw talent, your charisma, your vision, that will absolutely open doors for you. No question. You can probably hustle your way into a position of high visibility right now. But once you walk through those doors, your character is what dictates whether you build a lasting home there or if you just burn the whole building down.
To really grasp this, let's look at a historical masterclass in patience. We're going to compare King David to modern leaders. And this brilliantly illustrates the point. The contrast here is just wild. On one side, we have the biblical King David, anointed as king, meaning his calling was totally validated, but instead of getting a crown, he was sent straight to a dirty field to fight lions and bears in total, absolute obscurity. On the flip side, we have the modern leader, demanding viral fame, a corner office, and a huge platform on day one, completely lacking the preparation to actually handle any of it. Your modern equivalent to David's dirty work? It's doing the hidden stuff. It's putting up with a daily grind of answering condescending, angry emails with grace instead of ego. It's getting up at 5 a.m. to work on your side hustle when literally nobody would care if you just hit snooze and slept in.
Let's walk through this timeline together. He is anointed on day one, right? Then years of obscure, muddy, unglamorous preparation out in the fields. But the real climax of his formation is this decisive hour in a cave. David finds the current king completely vulnerable. He could have ended it right there. Just taken the throne. His ambition was probably screaming, "Take the crown." But he refused. This was the ultimate test of restraint. His refusal proved his character could finally look at his own ambition and say, "Not yet." He honored the process over the prize, and by doing that, he protected himself from taking a throne he wasn't yet emotionally equipped to hold.
So why do so many highly ambitious people get completely trapped in that waiting room for decades? Let's look at the roadblocks to character building.
The brutal truth about our modern habits exposes three major traps. The first is mistaking inspiration for transformation. In the information age, we get this massive dopamine hit just from listening to a great podcast or reading a self-help book. We feel like we actually achieved something. But here's the thing. Revelation is easy. Transformation requires boring, unsexy repetition. The second trap is our cultural obsession with outcomes over process. We demand platforms without prep. We want to go viral on day one without putting in the grueling decade of mastery. And the third roadblock? The active avoidance. Honestly, addressing your own flaws threatens your ego. But if you try to compartmentalize a messy private life while building a shiny external brand, well, the internal rot will eventually eat right through the walls.
To make this incredibly tangible, there's a story from the text about a young man the author mentored. Now, this wasn't some lazy kid. He was incredibly driven. He had this massive, vivid dream to build a huge organization. He absolutely had the Ferrari engine. But on a random Tuesday at 9 a.m., the guy was a mess. Just caught in this endless cycle of making huge, sweeping commitments and then quietly withdrawing the second things got hard. He planned endlessly but completely procrastinated on execution. And this cycle continued until his mentor finally sat him down and interrupted him with one piercing question that completely stopped him in his tracks.
I want you to really let this question sink in. Apply this to your own life right now. That promotion you're so angry you haven't gotten yet, the massive business success, the viral fame, if you were handed all of it at 5:20 p.m. today, would your current daily habits, your stress management, and your discipline actually be able to carry it? Or would you be having a complete and total breakdown by Friday? It's a heavy question, isn't it? It completely shatters the ego. It forces you to look at the massive void between your talk and your walk.
So the crucial point is, how do we actually fix this? Let's break down the step-by-step blueprint. All right, here is your playbook. 3 daily shifts to bridge that gap. Number 1, start small and stay consistent. Do not try to change your entire life in some dramatic 24-hour sweep. Doing one small hard thing every single day builds the long-term muscle of reliability. Number 2, align your private life. Look, faking public competence while your private life is chaotic is mentally exhausting. You are spending all your energy just managing the mask. You must ruthlessly guard your daily habits behind closed doors. And number 3, say yes to growth. This means saying yes to discipline when you feel lazy and yes to harsh feedback when your ego is getting defensive. It requires radical obedience to boring daily discipline. You have to realize that clarity comes from motion. You literally can't just sit on the couch waiting for your character to magically perfect itself. You have to move. The young man in Dennis's story, he started waking up earlier, managing his time, and honoring those small private commitments. And here is the absolute secret. For months, absolutely nothing changed externally. No big breaks, no sudden wealth, zero applause. But internally, his architecture was fundamentally rewiring. His internal density grew to the point where he eventually had the structural integrity to naturally attract and actually hold the success he had been asking for.
Which leaves us with this final, truly provocative thought for you to mull over today. We spend so much energy praying and wishing for our circumstances to just magically get easier, for that big break to arrive tomorrow morning. But if your character truly is the chassis that has to hold your massive, powerful calling, what if the daily friction you are trying so desperately to escape right now is actually the very mechanic shop where that chassis is being built? The greatness is already inside you, my friend. Stop trying to cheat the system. It's time to commit to the unglamorous, everyday work of building the character to actually carry it.